Hello and welcome to the Charlie Newhart Show. Like and subscribe if you like real content. If not, gracefully exit. I've been doing a lot of corporate work this morning, so I decided to stay in my real estate voice for the first portion of this show, just to let you guys know that, it's okay to code switch sometimes. I remember vividly my mom answering the phone, and if it was a bill collector or something of that sort, some type of business she had to handle, this was her voice. And then she'd hang up the phone and say, "Y'all go somewhere and sit down." I love what Dave Chappelle said. He said, black people are bilingual. We speak job interview and we speak street vernacular. But we have to have the ability to commingle in whatever kind of environment. When Charlie Newhart shows up with this shirt and this voice, the people on set feel comfortable and safe. But when I'm in a tank top, like, well, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they can feel a little bit threatened. But if you have the ability to vacillate between this voice and this voice, you know what I'm saying? You have the ability to blend in all environments. Every African American is aware of what I'm talking about. Now, this is not a campaign, even though these are campaign hands. Vote for Charlie Newhart. Even that laugh, corporate. Can you read the teleprompter, Charlie? Sure. Most of the commercials you see, this is the voice that I use. Developed it early on. Shout out to my mom, turning on the real estate voice. I look like I want to sell you a condo. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Wonderful balcony overlooking the Chesapeake Bay. And for only $600,000, you can have this 3-bedroom, even though it's really worth $200,000 because the real estate market is trash right now. One of those. And guess who's at the top of the list with the most overpriced houses in the country? Detroit. You know why? Because people paying it. Insane. Detroit, then I think is Atlanta's number 2. I don't know. The real estate market is trash. Straight up trash. Is it going to blow up again? What y'all think? Like it did in 08 and 09. I loved it. 08, 09 when the real estate market blew up. I bought a house in 2010, Canton, Michigan, $65,000 from an auction. It was missing some of the copper pipes in the basement. Closet doors was missing, weird stuff. Some of the kitchen cabinets was missing. This was the first house I redid the kitchen floor, cabinets, put new closet doors in, painted the whole house. My boy Rory, shout out to Rory. He came through, replaced all of the copper pipes with PEX pipes, right? Sold the house 3 months later, made a quick 30, 40 grand, then bought the house across the street. So all when the real estate market was kind of in the regrouping stage, just buying houses back to back, flipping them. As the market went up, I was buying bigger houses. So the market has to change. Again, and y'all know the story, like when the first house we bought in Canton, when the real estate market turned, I didn't have all the money. And I borrowed like $200-300 from 20, 30 close friends. Borrowed, or some of them just gave it to me. And that's what helped me get the rest of the money. We bought that house, flipped it, and then that just took the money from that, bought the next one. So if you're jumping in the real estate game, my suggestion is when you're getting that money, act like it don't exist for a season, because you do have to pay, 20%, what is it called? Capital gains tax when you sell your house. But you don't have to pay the 20% capital gains tax if you turn around and buy another house. Keep flipping it. My suggestion to you, you get a group of people. I know a young lady who's doing this. Her and her friends, they all make like $250,000 a year. They all teamed up, like 15, 20 of them, and they bought an apartment building in St. Louis. And they just keep buying property. Get a group of people that you trust. Everybody should be making the same amount, 6 figures, 100 grand plus. Or if everybody making the same 60, 70, but team up with people who are making the same or more. And all of y'all put some money in the pot. Buy a house. But have an agreement where it's like, we're not going to touch this money for 5 to 10 years. We're just going to keep flipping it. So if you got 20 people, let's say you got 20 people who all want to put 3 bands in a piece. $60,000, right? 60 grand, you could get you a house somewhere in the Midwest. All y'all put in on it, fix it up, right? Keep it, either rent it out, or you put the 60 grand in and fix it up. Let's say it costs you another 20 to fix it up, then you sell it for 90 or 100 or whatever, take that profit, buy another one. So you only really should have to put money up one time if you play it right. 20 people put $3,000 a piece in. All right. Was my math bold? My math might be bold. Hold on. If 20 people, is it 200 people? Let me get my calculator out. I know somebody in the comments now like, man, that don't add up. It's so funny. There are people on this planet who quick to tell you if you're wrong, but don't even have no solutions on what it takes to make it right. Or they quick to tell you what's wrong, and meanwhile, their life in shambles. No, that was correct. 20 people put up 3 bands. That's 60,000. Buy the house for 60. Let's say it need $10,000 worth of work. Same 20 people put that 10 bands in, fix it up, flip it, sell it for 100 bands, right? That's 100 bands cash for the whole group. Now, instead of everybody in the group like getting a piece of that action in the beginning, you take that 100. Now you go buy another house. Say you buy this house for 80 and it need $20,000 worth of work. You got the 100 bands right there. Buy the house for 80, put the 20 in it. You know what I'm saying? Then you turn around and sell it for 140. Each time your profit increases. Now you take the 140, you buy a house for 120,000, need $20,000 worth of work. You keep upgrading. Or maybe you buy 2 $60,000 houses or 2 houses for 50,000. You take the upgrade, but it takes one solid group of people who don't want to touch the money, all got the same goal. And it's like, look, for 5 years, we're just going to keep building. However, either you flip them or you hold on to them. Now, if you hold on to them to rent them out, maybe out of the first house you pay cash for and fix up, maybe you take a small equity loan to get another one. But whatever the plan is, the group got to be rock solid. You can't have nobody midway through like, man, I'm hurting right now, man. I really need the money, man. I need at least people. Look, money and success does not change you. It reveals you. Everybody cool till the money start. When the money start piling in, that's when you really see where people at. But that's my suggestion to y'all. If you really want to take over, build wealth somehow, start a real estate investment group. All y'all get together, put money in the pot. It's got to be a cool group of people, or maybe it's your family members. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I would do. Show up, when you go to buy the house, show up with a shirt like this and use this voice. And I'm interested in the home. I'd like to see it. We've perfected that, as black people, just smiling and grinning for no reason, just so other people can feel safe. I also want y'all to know, this is very crucial information. I heard this from a very reliable source, that God has scales outside of heaven, right outside of heaven's gates. So some of y'all gonna have to lose weight before you get into heaven, man, because he weighing people. 600 pounds? Nah, man. I'm gonna send you back down to earth. You need you to lose 400 pounds, and then you can come back. If you don't lose the 400, when you come back, you're going to hell. Wouldn't that be wild if they had scales outside of work? After you partied on the weekend on Monday, if you gained 20 pounds, you got fired. Yup, you 280, Curtis. We're going to give you your pink slip, man. Just don't eat it, all right? What else is going on inside my head? I can't stand people who lie for no reason. Can't stand it at all. You get people, especially one of the issues with being on TV commercials, TV shows, film, stuff like that, is when you show up to parties and events everybody wants to tell you what they're doing. And sometimes it don't even be close to anything you're doing. Man, you know, my sister got a podcast just like you. Man, she got about 30 subscribers. But she doing what you doing, man. She's doing some TV work, you know. She was an extra in this TV pilot. Like, these people ain't doing nothing I'm doing right now, but it's okay. I'll listen. Because I don't walk in the room thinking I don't even mean nothing. I've been running from this business more than I've been chasing it. Because it's fickle and people are weird. And the business is weird. So sometimes I hate it and I run from it. And then while I'm in the middle of running from it, saying I don't want to be bothered with it, I'll get a call from an agent to go do a commercial for XYZ money. Like, that's what happens when you run away from it. Then it chases you if it's your true calling. But being in the room and listening to people tell me the stuff that they doing that ain't nowhere near what I'm doing is so weird sometimes. And I don't even really want to even have that conversation. Let's have a real conversation. Let's talk about our family, kids, how's life? Let's not talk about accomplishments and goals for 5 seconds. Can we just have a real conversation? How are you doing, man? How's your mental health? You know what I'm saying? Why we gotta have this pissing contest, man? It's weird sometimes. But you get people, I do at least, that just want to just start capping. I told you about the dude. One dude told me, man, I saw you on a commercial, man. You did a good job. Man, I just want you to know me and my wife get ready to buy a casino in Vegas. What? Okay. Yeah, man, we just in the final stages, man. You know what I'm saying? We get ready to buy a casino, dog. Like, all right. I can look at you and your broad and tell that's not true, but okay, if that's what you want me to believe, shout out to y'all, man. Getting the gaming license and all that to leave here and go run a casino in Vegas. Okay. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? People coming out of nowhere. Man, you know I know Elon Musk, right? Yeah, man, he personally gave me an invite to the Tesla rocket program, man. I'm one of the few people on this planet that got tickets to Mars. And since I know Elon personally, he gonna build me a spaceship, man. I'm telling you, this time next year, you're gonna see a spaceship in my driveway, dog. All right. So what you been up to, Charlie? Because me, Elon's building me a spaceship. I don't know what you got going on. Okay, man. Cool. How's the family, dog? You gonna be able to take the family with you in the spaceship to Mars? Let's have some real conversation. When last time you had a family reunion, man? You getting in the gym? You taking care of yourself? How you doing, man? How's your eating habits? How's that blood pressure, man? How you feeling? Stop capping. So you really about to go to Mars?
Hello, and welcome to the Joy of Painting with Jamal Ross. I'm excited to share details of my life with you today. And we started off with a blank canvas that's titanium white. And we've got our colors here. We've got Van Dyke brown, piss yellow, baby blue, Negro black, blood red. And actually my producers are correcting me. This is actually doo-doo brown. So let's get right into it with the sky. Okay, yes. Now this is the sky over Detroit. So we'll add a little yellow for the sun. Okay. All right. And you know your dark colors sometimes outweigh your light colors. So you can go right to the black. And here we go. And this is just a car on the east side of Detroit. This is a 76 Caprice. And this Caprice is not like any other. It's on some nice BBS wheels. Okay. All right. Nice 76 Caprice. Okay. So you see we got our colors here kind of laid out. And you got to get the paint into the bristles really good. You let that paint get in there, okay? So let's go to the Van Dyke brown and do the mountains, okay? Well, actually, since this is Detroit, this will be a hill. Okay. All right. So, I'll share a funny story with you guys as I draw this picture. This young fella right here is me. And I was selling weight out of the trunk of this 76 Caprice on the east side of Detroit. And what happened at that time is I got tested by some niggas who didn't know what time it was. So I'm selling work and they draw their guns. But what they didn't know is that I had a 38 in my pocket with several speed loaders. So I started letting these niggas have it. And then another one of these niggas show up, right? This nigga show up, he got a Mossberg, right? So then I go to the trunk on these, you know what I'm saying? And I pull out a K. So I start laying all these niggas down. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. I'm just trying to do work. Y'all running up on me, you know what I'm saying? Trying to tell me this your neighborhood. Look, my mama grew up on Shoemaker. Not y'all. I don't know y'all niggas, you know what I'm saying? So y'all got to get laid down.
All right, so here's some of the things that I'll never do. I'll never skydive, ever. For one, black people's lives is already filled with excitement. I thought I was going to get pulled over the other day. The cop made a U-turn, got behind me. My heart was going 100 miles an hour. Like I was 16 again, getting pulled over for no reason. I have PTSD from getting pulled over all the time as a black dude for no reason at all. So when the police got behind me yesterday, I almost crapped my pants. So we have enough action and excitement in our life. We need to be able to walk away from traffic stops. So since that's my life, I'm not really looking to jump out of no airplane. I can't skydive either because there's always a dude strapped to your back at all times. Like the only way I'll be willing to go is if I can go and jump off the plane by myself with nobody strapped. I don't want no dude strapped to my back, thumbs up, while he, you know what I'm saying, he's on my buns. What if he gets excited midair? There's nothing I can do about it. What if he gets wood midair and I'm just up there and he's just behind me, thumbs up, just dry humping cakes? I'm all set. I'm all set on that. It's just a fruity position to be in. I don't want no dude strapped to my back 50,000 feet in the air. It's weird. Somebody from another community may enjoy that position, but I'm all set on that. Something else I heard, that's why I'll never go to doctor's offices in West Hollywood. I heard that doctor's offices in West Hollywood, when you go inside to get a prostate check, right when you bent over to get your prostate check, because you know they got to stick I don't know if you're familiar with this. You should be as a man, but maybe some women don't know this. To get your prostate checked, they have to the doctor has to stick his fingers in your donut. It's a very uncompromising position to be in. But in West Hollywood, there's a whole wall in the doctor's office that just comes down, and the whole wall is glass. And on the other side, it's just a room full of gay dudes clapping while the doctor checks your prostate while he sticks his finger in your donut. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's why I can't go to no doctor's offices in West Hollywood, because they had a glass wall in there with a whole audience on the other side cheering on the doctors as they give men prostate checks or colonoscopies. So that's another thing I won't ever do. I won't ever go to a doctor's office in West Hollywood. What else? I'll also never again in my life speak negatively about LeBron James' mom. I won't ever do it because she's a champion. She's an amazing woman. She raised a great athlete in LeBron. As a single mom, I applaud her. I think she's amazing. And she's also, too, she's the only woman LeBron James was never able to guard. LeBron James is one of the premier defensive athletes in the NBA. Now, we give him credit for his offensive ability. His defensive ability, amazing. Block shots, locks people up. One of the greatest defenders in the NBA. Can stop anybody. He couldn't stop his mom from sleeping with Delonte West, though. And that's why Gloria James will always be one of the most amazing women, because she's the only one who LeBron James couldn't stop. Couldn't stop her, even though he's a premier athlete. I think that's why he left, too. I think that's why he left the Cleveland Cavaliers, because his mom slept with his teammate, Delonte West, and it had to be very disheartening for him as a man to walk to the locker room and hear people snickering like, dang, man, my mom is having sex with my teammates. I got to leave, because he was like the captain of the team, probably started to lose a little respect. And I understand why he did that, and I respect his move. But all in his mind, he had to be thinking, like, no matter what team I go to, there's a possibility my mom is going to be having sex with my teammates. So he took consideration back then when he left Cleveland, and he made a very wise decision. He chose to go to the Miami Heat, team full of gay dudes. Like, there's no way these dudes going to hit on my mom. Dwayne Wade wants other men. So there's no way. Smart move. He won a championship because he was able to focus all his energy and time on playing ball, not on his mom also playing ball. So it's a smart move on his part. I won't speak negative about Gloria ever again. I apologize. What else? What else do we want to talk about? I had a baby mama who years ago, I even said my first baby mama from high school. Yeah, from high school. She did a lot of mean things. You know, she kept the kids from me, you know, slandered my name. She just did a lot of terrible things. It really hurt my feelings. And, you know, she gave me custody of the kids and then moved out of state and then had like 10 more kids and then came back. It was just a lot of drama. A lot of drama. And I understand her position. Like, if she was raised, her father was a crackhead. So I had to look at it like, if my dad is a crackhead, what would I do? How would I behave in this world if my dad was a basehead? And, you know, now I'm able to empathize more. Like, I understand why she made moves like that because of her upbringing and her bloodline. So I'm not even mad at her anymore. You know, I'm not mad at all. I've learned to let go. I've learned to release. Because the way things happen over time, people get back things, you know, people say karma, you reap what you sow, whatever the case may be. So years later, she married a man who was very physical with her, you know, with his fists, hitting her constantly, bruising her up. And there was one time where he not only knocked her down, but he river danced on her a few times. And she called me and she said, "Hey, I just want you to know that my husband has been hitting me and he knocked me out." And I was beside myself. I said, "Put him on the phone. Put him on the phone." Even though we weren't together at all, you know, she still was the mother of my daughters. I said, "Put him on the phone. I need to talk to him." So she put him on the phone. And as soon as he picked up, I said, "Man, how did it feel hitting her in the face?" Because I've been wanting to do that for years. I just didn't have the courage. "How did it feel?" He said, "It felt amazing." And he and I bonded after that. And we've been cool ever since, man. I just wanted to know how it felt that, you know, he dropped them hard boys on her and he got her in line. And I am not an advocate for domestic violence at all. It's very wrong. You should never, ever, ever hit a woman, right? But what if she's not a woman? What if she's a B, I, T, C? I'm not going to finish it, okay? You guys are wrong, because that's not even where I was going with that. What if she is misbehaving and she just needs to be tuned up? You whoop your kids when they get out of line, right? I'm not an advocate for harming women in any way. But when I got shot that day, I had to defend myself. I did lift my ex-wife off her feet with a strong right hook to protect my life. In those circumstances, maybe it's warranted. But dudes who just hit they ladies for no reason, that's cowardly. It's trash. You hit a woman, you hit a woman to save and protect your life. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But some dudes just be hitting women because they little. They're little and they're insecure and they don't want to work. It's a whole nother story. So here's another story. I decided to do online dating years and years ago. I said, let me take a chance. Let me do some online dating. And I got a message from a young lady who was fairly overweight. Fairly overweight meaning she was large and in charge, like bigger than Lizzo. You know what I'm saying? Big body. Very boldly reached out to me, left me a message, say, hey, you sexy. I want to get to know you. And I was like, well, let me just entertain big body. Let me see what she's talking about, man. Why not? I'm only going to be on here for 48 hours because I hate this online dating, but let me just try it. And she said, she sent me a message and I said, hey, how you doing, hon? And she said, hey, I'm going to just tell you right off the top. So she said, I'm going to ask you right off the top, how tall are you? And before I could answer, she said, because I'm looking for a man who's 6 feet, must have a six-pack, and make six figures. And I was like, let me look at her profile pictures. Maybe this one with her big face all in it maybe it's an old picture. Looked at her profile pics, and you could tell the chick is big when she's taking all the pictures from up here. You know what I'm saying? All you see is face and shoulders, no body. I'm saying, okay, so her whole body's huge, or she's bad built. Or maybe both. And she had the nerve to tell me that she wants a man that's 6 feet, makes six figures, and has a six-pack. So then I reached back to her and said, well, what are you offering besides 6 stomachs and 6 kids by 6 different dudes? And it was a long pause. And she just ignored that and said, also, I need to tell you that I don't cook. I don't know what. The problem is all these dudes be sending out Cash App and money right off the rip without even knowing a chick. It's ruining the game. It's making big bodies like this talk this way. So she said, I don't cook. I just replied, I don't protect. Yeah. If we land in the bed and you hear a noise downstairs, you take your big ass down there and see what's going on. You probably can absorb all the bullets. Telling me I got to be 6 feet, 6-pack, 6 figures. Very bold. Men, stop Cash Apping these women you just met. Stop sending these broads money. Stop buying them bracelets and clothes and all this other stuff right when you meet just to smack. You a weirdo. You tearing up the game. And they laughing at you. Because I'm having conversations with these women and they telling me, man, went out with dude, first date, he bought me this. First date, before we even went out on the date, he Cash Apped me $1,000. What? This OnlyFans IG era man, DM man is destroying you trash. Even if you got the bread, a real player is not sending no money first right off the rip. A real player ain't sending no money at all. He asking for the money. Hey, I got a business venture I want you to be a part of. What are you doing? Cash Apping chicks $1,000 you just met. You are the one that's making these big body broads talk reckless. You want a man that's 6 feet, 6 figures with a 6-pack? You don't cook. But you eat everything. You don't cook, but you eat. Cool. Here's another thing. If I was president of the United States, I would remove all the HIPAA laws from people with mental health issues. The HIPAA laws do not apply to you if you have mental health issues at all. Here's what I mean by that. You have some type of mental health issue, say bipolar, whatever. When you go to get your driver's license, You have to take a psych eval test. And if it proves you have some type of mental health issue, it's also on your driver's license from a 1 to a 5. 1, you're kind of sane. 5, you're crazy. So let's say you get a 3 on your driver's license. Every 3 years, you have an opportunity to renew that when you renew your driver's license. So your mental health status and your chromosomes should be on your driver's license. Yes, because if you're a male, you're born with certain chromosomes. If you're a female, you're born with certain chromosomes that never change. That's from God. The Bible says God made male and female. So that should be on your driver's license. Your mental health status, your chromosomes. Right? So you meet somebody, hey, I want to see your driver's license. I need to be able to know what time it is. Are you a 3? I might be a 3 too. Oh, okay. XY chromosomes. Your chromosomes should match up to your appearance. These are whatever the chromosomes are. Oh, you're not dressed in accordance to your chromosomes. This should be on your driver's license. It should be there's too much that people can hide now. You don't know somebody got a mental illness sometimes until you knee deep in the situation. Like, oh, why didn't you tell me you was bipolar and why didn't you tell me you was suffering from depression and ADHD and anxiety and all this other stuff? Why? Now I find out that I'm in the game, like driver's license or people facts. There should be something called people facts where you can type a person's name in. If I'm president, now I got my presidential shirt on. Let me use my voice. If you vote for Charlie Newhart as president, right? We're going to have what's called people facts. You can type in a person's name, just like Carfax. Type in a person's name, right? Birthday. And you'll be able to get all their information. Mental health medication. How many relapses. How many strikes they have. What their real chromosomes are. All of their correct information on people facts. Vote for Charlie Newhart. Man, people facts. 1,000%. There's people walking around with masks on. They got you fooled. Playing games with your emotions and playing games in business. You doing a business deal with somebody one day, then turn around the next day, there's somebody totally different. They show up to the closing table with a dress on. Like, who's dog? Vote for me. Here's another thing. The next time I go into an audition and the producer makes it weird, Charlie, how do you feel about male on male nudity? Can you take your shirt off? We want you to read for this other role for the jazz musician who's looking for his husband. Can you do that role? You change up any audition or you change me up in the script anyhow. You do anything weird that represents a frequency that I may not be comfortable with, or even if it's, Charlie, you want to see what it looks like if you harm children in this movie. So we're going to have anything that's outside of my frequency. If you do that in the audition and make me uncomfortable, I'm going to make you uncomfortable. So you say something to me, Charlie, get your shirt off. I'm going to be in there like, you know what? How about we all get our shirts off? You guys too behind the table. Get your shirts off. Can you get your wives on FaceTime so she can see my body? Get your phones out. Everybody in the room, get your phones out. Get your wife on FaceTime so she can see me at the beginning of the audition. And right at the start of the audition, I'm going to go into the corner and take a piss. That's how I'm starting it off. Let's get the games going. As a matter of fact, before we do the audition, guys, since that's what you're asking of me, I have something I'm asking of you. Can I get a hair and urine and blood sample from everyone in the room? Let's put it all in the pot. I'm going to set it on fire so we can make sure all the crystal voodoo gods make sure that this is an excellent performance. Can we do that? Does anyone have crystals? John, your wife's not on FaceTime, you son of a bitch. Get her on FaceTime. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stand up so she can see my manhood. Is Charlie taking a piss in the corner? Oh, my God. Cut. You make it weird. I'm making it weird. The weird auditions have to stop. What else? What else do I want y'all to start doing? You know what I want y'all to start doing? I want y'all to start speaking positively about your family and friends in their absence. Because you're talking about people behind their back, your family and friends, you're affecting the oil in the relationship. The Bible says the joint supplies in a relationship, the joint in between two. Think about your joints, your ligaments. They need to be oiled, right? They need to be oiled. Like fish oils is good, but there needs to be muscle and tissue in between two bones. But if two bones are rubbing together without muscle, without tissue, without oil in between, it's hard, it's rough. So some of your relationships that you have in your life, they're tough and they're rough because there's no oil, ligament, or muscle in between. It's just bone on bone. You know how you create the muscle, oil in between the joints, the tendons, how you connect it? Speaking positively about the family and friends, about these relationships when they're not around. Pouring into their love language. We need to start being people who create more deposits than withdrawals, right? In our relationships and our friendships around them. We need to always be giving. If you're in a relationship where y'all trying to outgive each other, that's one of the most positive, blessed relationships or friendships that you can have. But if y'all not around, you know, when you get around somebody and there's a weird vibe, 9 times out of 10, they've probably been talking about you. Or you probably been talking about them. It affects relationships. I want y'all to try something this week. Your family and friends, the people who you love and think dearly of, speak positive around them when they're not around. Think positive thoughts about them when they're not around. Pray for them. And watch how more nourished the friendship or relationship is when y'all link up together. Because you doing the work. And you ain't got to do nothing weird or crazy every hour on the hour, every single time be thinking. But when they pop up in your brain, see, God allows people to be brought into our brain and our thought process at a particular time because they may need to be prayed for or a positive thought about them. It's not just by coincidence you driving one day, you're on your way to work, and then all of a sudden one of your friends pop in your brain. Sometimes it's to call them and check on them. Sometimes it's just to think a positive thought about them. Sometimes it's to pray for them. But if you're doing the positive work away from these people, when you get around them, the joint supplies. It's oiled up. It's tendons, it's muscles. It's a healthy joint. It's not bone on bone. Some of y'all weirdos like bone on bone. Dog. But be healthy in your relationships, though, in your friendships. One of the ways you can be healthy is that it is not your responsibility to absolve people of the consequences of their choices. It's not your job. That's codependency. So you can love on people. You can give people, love, prayer. If God tells you to, maybe some money if they need it. But it is not your job to absolve people of the consequences of their decisions. You know what I'm saying? Somebody keep drinking and keep drinking and keep drinking and they drive and you keep telling them to chill out, blah, blah, blah. And when they get popped, they get a DUI. And now they got this $5,000 lawyer fee and all this other stuff. Unless God specifically tells you to, it is not your job to absolve that person of their consequences. Sometimes we get caught up in being the Holy Spirit in other people's lives. It's not your job to be God in somebody else's life. Even if it's your kid, sometimes your kid has to face that consequence. It's too many people rescuing people out of the consequences of their choices, and they keep going back over and over again. When you going to let them learn? When you going to step back and let them learn and be responsible for their choices? Stop being God to some people. Unless God tells you to, stop being these people's rescuer. What I say a few minutes ago, you pray for people, think good thoughts. But sometimes that's all you're supposed to do for people. They got to go through their own journey. Think about yourself. I can think about myself. Where I am now is because my family, friends, even God just left me in situations where it's like, dang, I got to figure this out. This hurts. I don't like how I feel, but some of my choices got me here. I can sit here and talk all this trash about the baby mamas I chose, blah, 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 but guess what? I chose them. I could talk all this trash about the women in my life who I learned from. I got shot, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? I chose these people. And maybe it was a fault in my mentality and my thought process at the time. But now as a 46-year-old healed grown man on this journey, I can't keep blaming cancer from 30 years ago. I can't keep blaming that I got shot 20 years ago. That's why come on, man, I got to put in the self-work. if you meeting somebody, here's a dating tip. If you meeting somebody, ask them what their goals are, and are they wrote down? What are they doing for self-work? What are you doing? What are you doing on your journey for self-work? It's not a lot of people doing self-work. What they're doing is they leaning on you and your self-work, and they pulling from you. What are you doing to work on yourself? All of us is a work in progress. But when I talk to somebody who they've arrived, they don't need no help. They fine, they da-da-da-da-da, and you can see where they need help, but they ain't willing to do it on their own. You're not leaning on my self-work. You do your own. I'm not interested in being around a leaner, leaning on me and everything I got going on, leaning on my routine because you ain't got one of your own, leaning on my self-work because you ain't doing no self-work on your own, leaning on me going to, you getting up. If I don't get up and go to the gym, they don't go. It's like leaners are, they're, ugh. They pull from you. I'm not interested in being around nobody that's going to pull from me, add or leave. But we bring these people into our life without vetting them. You should know somebody through observation, revelation, recommendation. Observation, watch them for a while. Revelation, pray about it. See what God say. Recommendation, talk to their friends around them. If their friends around them is on, if they friends around them that's going to keep it a buck, or just people who know them. I could have got saved a whole lot of time, money, energy. Look, I filmed a TV pilot years ago with somebody, right? And he was being weird on set with one of the producers, a young lady that I hired. She pulled me to the side and said, yeah, he was being inappropriate. I had a conversation with him like, dog, come on, man. We can't continue to do X, Y, Z. She said this, that, and the third. He apologized. So then I'm hosting a comedy show at a facility, right? Once a month. I'm hiring the comedians. I'm managing the whole thing. And I had a showrunner there. He got inappropriate with her. She told me about it. I pulled him to the side again. My dog, it's the second time, man. Old girl said you did X, Y, Z. You said X, Y, Z. Now I got to put you on punishment, dog, because you're a walking lawsuit. On the TV pilot and here at this comedy show, you've been inappropriate with women twice. Now I got to put you on punishment, dog. You know what I'm saying? Dog was kind of overweight, too. I was like, look, man, lose 30 pounds. You keep saying you want to do it. 90 days, I'm not talking to you, man. Lose 30 pounds and tell me that you've had a conversation with a therapist once a month. You know what I'm saying? And I get back with you in 90 days. I get back on you. 90 days, dog was the same weight. Called him. Same weight. Didn't have no conversation with no therapist. I'm done. I can still communicate with you every now and then, but dog, you dangerous. I can't invite you. I got daughters. You inappropriate around chicks, man. Touching them when they don't want to be touched. You know what I'm saying? You a weirdo. I can't. Got love for you, dog, but I just can't have you close to me, man. But I didn't do my part on the recommendation part. I should have talked to other people around. So then when I started talking to other people around, dog, oh, you didn't know? Yeah, he XYZ. Like, oh my God, didn't nobody tell me, because I didn't do the recommendation part. And then the revelation part, during this 90-day process where I had dog on punishment, I started praying. God, what's going on with my man? Then I had a dream. I had a dream that I was riding in the back of a car and he was in the passenger seat and it was an Uber driver. And the Uber driver was a Netflix representative, oddly. And he talked to my homeboy that was in the passenger seat. He said, man, I'm thinking about hiring Charlie for a TV show. What do you think? And my dog that was in the passenger seat was hating on me in the dream. I wouldn't hire him. You know what he's doing? He's doing this with women. He's doing that. He started telling the Netflix executive the stuff that he was doing with women, but said that I was doing it. What edible food never goes bad?
What edible food never goes bad? Twinkies?
Twinkies. No, sir. It's honey.
Okay.
Honey. Now I got to roast you, Tom.
All right. Fair enough.
You look like when you go to the doctor for ankle pain, he suggests a hands-free prostate check. You look like you fell asleep on the Greyhound bus and woke up with no pants on. Yeah, I was saying that, I can't be, after I had the dream, I was like, I can't be cool with dog no more. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. Not until God tells me I can. Not until he heals. Like, the Netflix dream, the observation with the women. And I'm just like, And then I think the icing on the cake came when Dog got an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, because he was in a position financially that was a little, a little strenuous on his life, and I was doing my best to kind of help him out. Then he got an opportunity, and then I asked for an intro. He didn't give me the intro. You know what I'm saying? Then he said he was going to do this and this and this, and never did those things he said he was going to do, and I'm like, all right. So I did all this for you in the meantime, and then now when you up, you can't return the favor. So I was like, I can't talk to Dog no more, man. Good dude, funny dude, you know what I'm saying? But, and I met him through somebody else. But the person I met him through, I should have asked that person, like, man, what's going on with Dog? You know what I'm saying? I should have did my due diligence. But it's all water under the bridge now. I ain't got no hate for nobody. I wish everybody the best. It's just that I'm still on this journey where I'm learning how to navigate with people, especially with navigating in the entertainment industry. That's a whole different monster, because there are people who secretly want to be famous so bad, sometimes more than money. They're willing to do whatever it takes to stay in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? Do conniving stuff behind the scenes, stir up strife. It's just, man, I don't know. I guess I'm not familiar with that life, because I try to run from this so many times. I've quit so many times. I'm done. I can't take this. I'm done. And every time I quit, it be a season I'm quitting. And then I remember I quit. I got on the truck. I was driving for Cisco. I was driving Cisco in California. I had quit. I said, I'm done with this, man. I'll hop on the truck and just get some money. I can't remember what happened that pissed me off, but I was like, I don't need this. I'm not chasing this. I never asked for this. The first agent I ever got, somebody walked up to me in a parking lot and told me they was going to help me get an agent. I thought dude was gay. Like, man, I'm straight. Are you trying to get to second base, dog? I don't need no agent. I'm straight. I don't want to do that. But he was cool. He was straight. He helped me get an agent, and I booked a 5-hour energy commercial like 3 months later. I'd never chased it. So in this situation, I left like, man, I'm done with the business. I was driving to California. I was in Lake Arrowhead Mountain, driving right outside of San Bernardino, driving up the mountain. And while I was driving up the mountain, my phone rang. I couldn't answer because I was driving. Pulled over. Agent calling me. Hey, we want you to do this commercial XYZ for X. I was like, well, if y'all willing to do it for this, I'll do it. But you got to get me off the truck. No, I'm working. They called me back an hour later like, yeah, we'll give you that. I quit that day. That's how it's been for me. I never chased. I remember I was selling cars at a dealership in Santa Monica. You know my story. Selling cars, older Jewish dude. He was like, what do? You only get to work here part-time. What kind of work you do? I said, I'm an actor and comedian. He said, I knew it. He got on the phone right in front of me. Hey, Liz, I got this black guy in front of me with gorgeous green eyes. Yeah, I want you to bring him in for an audition right away. Handed me the phone. I'm on the phone with an agent that I had been trying to get in touch with like a year or two before, and I just gave up. I was trying to get in touch with her. Her name was Liz Dean, the casting director. I was trying to get in touch with her. That's when I was pressing to get into the industry. Wasn't nothing happening, and I just quit. Like, I'm done. And I quit. Then I got this guy sitting across from me a year later, calls her, puts me on the phone with her. First of all, I let this old dude call me gorgeous. That was kind of weird, but he was 80-something years old. I'm like, all right, is he going to even remember saying this? Okay. Puts me on the phone with her. She brings me in for a bunch of auditions. Then I auditioned for Star Trek Picard on CBS, a speaking part. I have to say that for people who say, I got a cousin who's doing what you're doing. Man, they probably extras. It's very rare where I meet somebody who has done a guest star speaking part role on a nationally syndicated TV show. I ain't saying I'm all that because I've ran from it, but I'm saying I don't want to short the blessings that God has brought in my life. But when people say, yeah, he was on this TV show, was it speaking? 9 times out of 10, they not. But I was running from it. At that time, I was running from it. Booked a role on Star Trek. Wasn't even chasing it. Them the best blessings in life. I love it. It's almost like David. When David was working in the field, tending his father's sheep, that's when he got chose to be king. He was working in the field, minding his business, doing what God told him to do, learning the tools that he was going to need to be king, but he wasn't chasing it. You know, it's all right to have goals. It's all right to have goals and dreams and visions and want to go after some things. But it's like, man, we should chase after God. Matthew 6:33 says, seek the kingdom first. He will add all the things. I want to thank everybody, especially you, Jay. But you've been looking out for me in the Cash App department. Everybody, if this has been game to you, everybody that's been sowing in the Cash App, sowing into PayPal. You know, Cash App is only for the United States, but for people who outside the United States, been people that's been giving in PayPal, appreciate you. If it blesses you, all the information is below in the body of this video. If it blesses you, I got some shows coming up soon. Stay tuned. I'm having fun, man. I'm having a good time. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I love y'all because I love myself.